Shannon Sharpe got himself fired. Shannon Sharpe is responsible for him getting fired. Let's be clear. And no, this wouldn't have mattered if it was a white or black woman. Let's talk about it.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck
on. What's going on, you all? Shannon Sharpe has been fired. ESPN has cut ties from him. It is official. He is not coming back for the next season to give any commentary around football or sports, point blank, period. And now there's a discussion about him being fired and how it would have been better had he dated a black woman or a black girl, or see what the white girl did to you. We need to end that. We need to end that. Y'all are losing the plot. The plot is lost. Get on Google Maps, get on Waves, find your way back. The woman who is suing Shannon Sharpe is not suing him because she's a white girl. I mean, that's how we are consuming it. But she said he violated her. There were times where she did not consent to the things that he was doing. This lawsuit is about consent. We need to stop getting lost into the conversation about this being a white girl. Yes, Shannon Sharpe was dating a white girl that was way younger than him, that was improper from the very beginning. An improper relationship, unethical relationship. This girl is way younger. He is financially way more off than she is. The things that she's accusing him of, she wanted to go to trial for this, and he ended up settling out of court. Now, if Shannon Sharpe thought that this was a shakedown and all of the things, he should have had his day in court. The same way you talk about other black women and all these other things, the way you talk about the black community and the mistakes that they make and everything else, if you did not do these things, then go to court. If you believe in all of these things in the system and in all fairness, then you should have went to court and you should have pleaded your case. Plead your case. He did not do that. So ESPN cut ties from him. I'm not surprised that this is happening. I think for the most part, ESPN is trying to protect their brand. I'm not surprised that ESPN cut ties from him. ESPN is owned by Disney. They are a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They are not going to allow something like that to affect their brand. They're just not. They don't care how many followers he has. They don't care how big his nightcap show or whatever. They do not want their image. They do not want their image. If I'm being honest, I believe that no matter had this went to court or if this was settled, ESPN was going to cut ties from him, point blank, period. I think had it went to court and it was a good outcome for Shannon Sharpe, maybe they would have gave him suspension and brought him back as a, hey, we wanted you to get your stuff together. Everything's looking good, but the settlement just does not look good. The settlement makes it seem as though you did these things and it doesn't look good for the brand. So they cut ties from him. The conversation that is irritating me is Monique tried to warn him. Monique did warn him. She did say you need to leave them white girls alone, but she also said that he should date black women. He need to find him an older black mammy. Basically, that's what Monique said. Find you a black woman who can cook and rub your feet. That's what she said. You all who are arguing that he should have been dating a black woman, like you should have left the milk of magnesia alone, this is what happened. It's not just that, because plenty of others date white women and they do not do these things. So what Shannon Sharpe did to this woman was the cause of the lawsuit. Point blank, period. Now, we can have a conversation about when black women talk about things that they have experienced, their trauma, and accuse folks of stuff, how they are treated, i.e. Megan Thee Stallion, how she's been treated, even how her boyfriend, Klay Thompson, is being treated right now for simply dating Megan Thee Stallion. Like, it's a lot of misogynoir happening. What we're talking about is how Shannon Sharpe treated this woman and what she is accusing him of. So no, you saying you should have dated a black woman does not help this, because the thing is how he treated this person. So for y'all to be on this blackity black train and putting a black woman in harm's way to prove a point is quite disgusting, if I'm being honest. It's quite disgusting. I don't want to see any woman be harmed in that type of way if what she is saying is true. The things that she is saying about Shannon Sharpe are true. I don't want it to be a black woman or even a white. I don't want it to happen to women, point blank, period. And that is something that we should be arguing, is that we don't want to see any woman harm. Because if a woman who is non-black is experiencing harm, what do you think a black woman is going to experience? It's going to be handed down. The system that allows women to experience these things, we should be critiquing. That's what we should be having a conversation about. Women are treated these ways because of misogyny, because of cis heteropatriarchy, all of these things. That's what we should be having a conversation about, how they get away with things like this. I just finished watching What's Love Got to Do with It, the movie about Tina Turner's life based off of her book, and classic cis heteropatriarchy, what Tina Turner was experiencing in her relationship with Ike Turner at the time. So we need to move away from it. Yes, Monique, again, made a comment and said something about, hey, you need to leave those white women alone. Even the comedian Cat Williams went on Shannon Sharpe's show and told him that, hey, white women will end your career in a weekend. Look what happened to Kang the Conqueror.
I didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go. See, come on, Cat.
We need to stop using Emmett Till as a reason for these things happening. Yes, there is a thing that allows white women to get away with things. White tears. We can get into a conversation about this. But we also need to acknowledge that men do things like this, whether the woman is white or black. Period. The fact that so many are unknowingly saying that this would have been better had this been a black woman says a lot. The way y'all are saying you should have got a young black girl. So we're putting young black women in harm's way in the pursuit of pro-blackness. For what? Y'all are willing to abandon black women, young black women, to prove what? Like, what does that say? Like, hello, what is going on? Like, this is why the argument hits about how men, for the most part, are not interested in ending white supremacy. They just want to be white men. They just want to have the power. It's not the same objective. It's about them having the ability to get away and do these same things. They're mad that they cannot do it and get away with it. That's why you'll see Vlad TV interviews and other interviews. Oh, well, what about such and such? What about Hugh Hefner? And what about homeboy who's in jail, who had that multimedia company, the movie company, I can't think of his name, who's in jail right now. Y'all do not want to eradicate these things. Y'all want to benefit from them. Like, girl, it's giving Hunger Games, and we need to be shooting y'all with a bow and arrow, to be honest, because y'all want to repeat the same cycle. Like, it's not making sense. So we're not getting anything from folks saying that this is what happens when you date a white woman. No, what? That critique just does not land. It does not land. And just saying that this is what happened when you date white women. We need to be interrogating why men like Shannon Sharpe are interested in white women who are way younger than him and want to perform these type of plays with these women. That is something we need to be having a conversation with. We're missing the moment. We're missing the mark. We're talking about his desire of white women and not the fact that this was a white woman who was way younger than him. Because that matters too, because black girls experience that. We've seen that with R. Kelly. Hello, follow me. Like, follow me where we're going, because these things are not just specific to white women. These things affect all women, men doing these things. There has been so many women who have talked about being catcalled the most when they were minors versus being adults. Pay attention to women when they are talking. Listen to women when they are talking. But I mean, we're so caught up right now in the conversation talking about Ari Lennox's perception of what she saw on Martin and the colorism that Pam experienced was made up. Like, y'all are invalidating colorism on a show that came out of the early 90s that y'all just refuse to critique. You all are more interested in protecting the institution than the people. Y'all are more interested in protecting a show and its legacy versus the people. And I find that very concerning. That's how we end up in situations like this with Shannon Sharpe, because nobody is actually really diving into the conversation of why this almost 60-year-old man who's been talking about black folks and black women for the longest, now chasing this white girl who was way younger than him, who he met while she was 19, who just so happens to do that specific type of content. So what are y'all doing? We need to be having a conversation about why men like Shannon Sharpe and RG3 exist. And even bring in Deion Sanders in the conversation, if we're being honest. Even Chris Brown. I don't even have a list of all these men who just so happen to be in love with a non-black woman or a white woman. Like, who also have a history of abuse. Like, not saying Deion Sanders has, Chris Brown has, most definitely. And there's other men like Chris Brown as well. So we need to be having a conversation about that. Like, what is going on with these men and their desire for these girls who are 40 years younger than them? But we're still out here uncomfortable with these conversations for whatever reason. Shannon Sharpe is missing out on a bag with this. And he knows it. And even his response that he did, that he didn't want this to be taken away from his friend's moment of being included into the Hall of Fame. The response to that was so typical. I wonder what PR firm told him or lawyer told him to do that, because he is now reshaping it to, y'all are attacking somebody who has nothing to do with this. Y'all are making their moment where I wanted to wait till Monday to after the Hall of Fame situation. I don't know why ESPN did that. How are you now mad at ESPN because of when they chose to talk about it? If you had never done these things, we would have never had to talk about it. So you don't get to mess up like this and then, well, y'all could have waited. You don't get that. The nerve of you to do a video and ask, well, we could have waited till Monday to cut ties. Girl, you were cut because of what you did. That is your fault. And that tells me that you have not learned anything from this experience. You still are a hothead, white bunny chasing fool. Like, for you to sit up here and try to blame them for your mess and tell them it's the timing. You don't care about that person, because if you cared about the person, you would have never did this to begin with. You helped that stain. Don't be trying to ask ESPN to come with a Clorox pen to clean it up. You created the stain. You messed up your friend's thing. Take accountability for that. You can't be just saying accountability. You actually have to move in a position of being accountable. You just can't be saying things. And that's exactly what that response did. You messed up. ESPN gave you enough time. They gave you enough time. And you got me out here defending a multi-billion-dollar corporation that don't give a damn about two hoots about both of us, because they cut you. You messed this up. Take accountability for it. Say what you got to say, but you need to remember that you created this mess that you are currently in now, and you got to do what you got to do to get out of it. That's all of my thoughts. Let me know what y'all think in the conversation in the comments. Make sure you're being respectful. Until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.